Now it's time for Tennessee WildCast, live from Studio B at the TWRA headquarters in Nashville. Here are your hosts, Doug and Jason.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. I'm Jason Harmon, and right next to me is Mr. Doug Markham.
Hello there, Jason.
How are you?
Good. I'm good. We're in spring. How can you not be good?
Well, it's been cold the last couple of days, but spring is here.
Yeah.
The official day of spring is past, and it's time to start turkey hunting here pretty soon.
Oh, real soon.
And the kids
especially if you're 16 and under, 616.
That's right. Kids are going to be at it this weekend, and then the cold weather's kind of set in a little bit, but hopefully they'll have a good weekend.
That's typical. They'll be okay. And there's a little rain in the forecast next week, but you know how that goes. It might be here and it might not, but it's okay. A little rain doesn't hurt.
I will say this. I heard a turkey gobble this morning. I walked out, getting in the car, taking the son to school, and I heard it off in the distance, and I started trying to call back, hoot at it or something, see if it'd talk back to me, but it didn't. So anyway,
all right. Well, you
got
a little bit longer to practice and take tucker hunting this year.
Yeah,
when you can
get after them.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is almost turkey season, everyone, and this weekend the kids go hunting. The adults have to wait another week, and then turkey season's wide open. And the guide is out. You've had it a long time. It's a guide that you got back in the fall. It has all the seasons in it, all the hunting seasons in it, including turkey season. Bag limit is 4 again, statewide. And I want to say something about Land Between the Lakes. They usually have a bonus bird, and they don't have a bonus bird this year. So folks that go to Land Between the Lakes, and this is a West Tennessee show today. We're going to be talking a lot about stuff west of here, especially Humphreys County, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But LBL, Land Between the Lakes, they have a hunt that generally allows a bonus bird on it, and this year for adults it's not bonus. For kids it still is. For adults it is not.
Right.
So keep that in mind if you go over there. And we also were at a meeting the other day where we got a pretty good update on some of the research going on turkeys in southern Middle Tennessee, and it's a 6-year study. Not a whole lot learned yet. I mean, they're trapping a lot of birds. They're getting a lot of information. They'll compile all that information in 5 more years, and then we'll kind of find out what's going on with turkey populations in some parts of the state.
Right. They got some good data, and you can watch that presentation online, our YouTube channel.
You can.
The commission meetings
you
out
watch
there.
The commission meeting, and one of the things that they did too is they've made it so that the hunting guide and fishing guide, after they get set this year and the fishing in the fall, then they'll start setting it every 2 years. We're actually going to have regulations that if they're set 1 year, it'd be 2 years later before they're set again.
Right.
So if something comes up, though, and there has to be an amendment made, we can still do it. But they're trying to do that so sportsmen have more time to plan. We don't change things all the time. They can just get the guide. The guide will be different every year because our dates are going to change.
Right.
It's not going to be the same weekend and all that.
Yeah, they'll still have to reprint the guide and keep that up to date.
Yeah. But that happened at the commission meeting the other day. Interesting meeting. And go ahead and I want to talk about the elk cam for just a minute before we introduce our guest.
An elk cam?
There is an elk cam.
Uh-oh.
We're waiting. All we need now is the elk.
Yeah, the elk will just show up.
We've created an elk cam, and it is so cool. Jason and I have been watching it a lot, and we're watching a lot of elk until we got ready. We told the commission about it the other day, our governing commission, and we were going to launch it officially yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, and there were no elk. All there was a snowstorm on the mountain at Hatfield Knob.
All that snow.
So be watching for that, because as soon as we get a good elk population out there, we don't want to send out all this social media and this delivery, this thing we do where we send a lot of emails out. We don't want to do that, and you go look at a bunch of snow or grass.
We
want some elk there.
You're going to see a lot of snow, a lot of grass, but you'll also see a lot of elk. They've been out there quite a bit. Herds of up to 50, 60 elk out there. So
yeah, and this is a place called Hatfield Knob. It's over Scott, Campbell County. It's on the Cumberland Plateau. It's a beautiful place, and it's got a tower there, a viewing tower. So if you really get into these elk, you can go out there and watch them in person, and we hope you do.
It's on North Cumberland WMA, and just want to say this too to make sure people know this zone is not hunted. It's a kind of a sanctuary.
Yes, it is.
These elk aren't hunted, so they're not just out there for the taking.
I'm glad you said that. No, these are elk that you watch, and we've seen some cool stuff. We've seen them already sparring. We've seen them eat a lot, and we've seen them stand around a lot. But they've been fun to watch as they've been sort of sparring out there, and it's a good mix of cows and bulls and just really beautiful critters. All right, anything else before we get to our guest here?
I don't know if we mentioned this, but 1 turkey a day when the season starts. The young sportsmen are this weekend, and the shotgun archery season for adults starts, or for the normal season starts March 31st through May 13th. I'll pop that on the screen real quick.
Good.
And you're not to exceed 4 birds.
Yep, that's your bag limit. So it's been 4 birds for several years now, and we'll see if it stays that way for a long time. Hopefully, it will. So, all right. Hope everybody has a good season. All right, let's introduce David.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. David Daniel is our guest today. The first segment, we're going to talk about Buffalo Ridge Refuge in the second segment with Donald Hossey. But David is working with us. We're trying to do some different stuff here, create some outdoor partners.
Outdoor partnerships.
And David Daniel is the owner of First Stop Shop for Outdoors in Waverly, Tennessee. It's a great store. A lot of you probably recognize David because you go to his store. That store gets a lot of people. We were talking to David before we started here, and I don't know how he ever gets any sleep.
I'm a busy man.
Yes, you are. The store itself, David, it's open from when to when?
Store opens at 4 a.m. and closes at 9 p.m.
Okay, and if you think you recognize David, it might be from the store, but you were also the police chief in Waverly for, you said, 20 years?
Nearly 20 years.
And you worked a lot with our wildlife officers and stuff along there.
Good group. Good community.
Great community. Sure. The one stop is on the way. It depends on where you're going, because Humphreys County is a great county for the outdoors, and that's why we have you in here, David. We're going to talk about a tournament you do, but in your county you have the Buffalo River, you have the Duck River, you have Kentucky Lake right there, and the Refuge, you said?
Right. I mean, everything kind of comes together in Humphreys County. We've got those 3 rivers, and then Highway 70, folks, an I-40 coming from east to west. Everything intersects right there where our store is at First Stop Outdoors at Clyden Road and Highway 70. And it used to be known as Hunt's Outdoors.
Right.
John Hunt owned it before I did and started it, and a lot of people still to this day call it Hunt's, which is fine with me.
Do they call you Mr. Hunt?
Well, I kid around and say as long as they're in there spending some money, they can call it whatever they want to.
There you go. It's a great store. It is a sportsman store.
It is.
You sell a lot of stuff that's for the sportsman, including food. And
we do. It's kind of a one-stop shop is what we say, for fuel and food and drinks and ammo and camo and lots of bait and tackle.
Okay, you were telling us before we started here you do like 500 sausage and biscuits a day.
Well,
That's crazy.
That's a morning. That's in a couple hours.
Oh, yeah?
Usually. So
wow.
The cooks are definitely earning their keep for sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here and working with us, and Humphrey County working with us. It's something, David, I've been wanting to see counties like Humphreys do a long time. Tennessee is known, or Nashville especially, is known as a music city, and a lot of concentrations put on Music City, but we got to be one of the best outdoor states, period, that there is. And I feel like concentration should be made more on all our fishing and hunting things that we have. And I see Humphrey County is trying to do it because you have so much over there.
We do. It's I think Humphreys County is the best kept secret in the state of Tennessee, with as much water as we have, and there's still vast areas of hills and hollows and hardwoods.
It's not all gone yet, is it?
It's not, and it's really very accessible from Nashville and really from the region. Humphreys County is. I said, it's a good kept secret there.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. And of course, you brought in your friend today, Taylor Porch, is here, yeah. and he's one of the sponsors of one of your tournaments, and your tournament that we'll get into in just a minute. But y'all were talking about the beautiful drive-in that you can take, how gorgeous it is.
Right. Pretty much everybody knows I-40, but once you get to the Bucksnort exit or the Buffalo exit, everybody recognizes it as the Loretta Lynn area because we have that ranch, and I know that'll be highlighted at some time in the future. But and then Highway 70, west of Dixon. So an hour drive from Nashville to get to what I call God's country is we would love to have people come and visit our area and spend money in our county and support all the good things that are going on there.
We're going to talk about all the bass boats that you bring in there with the tournament that you're doing, but it's also, if you're a kayaker, what a great place to go with the Buffalo and the Duck River right there. What a wonderful piece of waters that you got there.
Yeah, without a doubt. And there, TWRA has put several public access locations on the Buffalo and the Duck River. And of course, there's several on the Tennessee and Kentucky Lake. But a lot of people know Kentucky Lake, but these other two rivers for kayakers are ideal. I mean,
it's smallmouth. Those two rivers are full of those smallmouth.
Yeah, and scenic. I mean, I mean, for the entire family, there's something there for everybody for sure.
Okay, and then Kentucky Lake's right down the road. Got to get past you to get to to Kentucky Lake. And as I say, we're going to talk bass, but the crappie fishing right now, you already getting customer looking for
crappie fishing. The weather's starting to break, the sun's shining, the water's leveling out. We've had some floods, but our water level's flooding. But and we're hearing some pretty good reports that some pretty big sacks of crappie being caught.
Glad to hear it. Those red buds are blooming, right?
That's right.
You think you could catch those crappies? Those crappies, Doug? You think?
No, I thought I was hoping you.
I know David can catch them. I know David. I just wondering maybe you can get me on some of those today.
If I'm riding with David.
Okay.
I like to eat them a whole lot more than I can catch them, I can tell you.
All right, David. You have a big tournament. It's First Stop Outdoors, and it's only 2 or 3 years old. I think you said this is the third year.
This is the third year.
You've got a lot of boats already going, but you need more.
We do, and that's what we're trying to do is promote that event, to get people to our county and support the tournament trail. We really have never had a good tournament series on the south end of Kentucky Lake. I know where Paris Landing is, and there's a lot of tournaments that run out of Paris, but we just decided to try a series here and get it have it start on the south end in Humphreys County. Every tournament is out of Pebble Isle Marina, which is Trace Creek. There in between Waverly and New Johnsonville, right at the Nathan Bedford Forest State Park,
which is also a great place.
It is, and it's a great marina. Those folks there have welcomed us with open arms, and a good location, plenty of parking, so a lot for us to take advantage of.
Okay, your tournament, you do some different stuff with it. First of all, the tournament date, you got one coming up this weekend.
Right, our first one is March the 24th. And it's, again, out of Pebble Isle Marina. And our title sponsor for that is Port Stribling and Webb Insurance. And one of the things that they do is they add bonus money to the big fish. So you might not win the tournament, but you might catch the big fish, and they add considerable amount of cash to the normal big fish pot. So they've been a sponsor
Taylor's,
for us. That's
part
Taylor's
of what Taylor
company
does,
there.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then you got one April 14th, 26th, and then, of course, you got your classic. Tell us how that works.
Okay, so there's 3 what I call regular season tournaments, the 24th, April 14th, and the May 26th. You have to fish at least 2 of those to qualify for the 2-day classic in June, and that's on a Friday and Saturday. So I like to say we've got a little bit of the pre-spawn going on right now with this tournament. Mm-hmm. We'll have the primetime spawn going on April 14th, and then we've got the spawn and post-spawn on May the 26th.
Is that yellow flower time or whatever they call it?
Yep. And those water temperatures are changing, and then everybody likes to hit those ledges and get out on the big water, and that should be prime time for that at the Classic in June. So a little bit of something for everybody.
I see an old friend's old business up there, Triton. Does Triton work with y'all a lot?
Triton does. They work with us through Malone's Marine. They're a title sponsor. In fact, they're the title sponsor for our 2-day Classic. Ben Malone up in Buchanan, Tennessee, in Paris at Paris Landing. He's the Triton dealer, and Triton puts up Triton Gold money for this event. It's a Triton Gold sanctioned event, so if someone's in a new Triton boat and they win this tournament, they're going to get $7,000 extra.
Awesome.
In Triton Gold bonus boats.
That is awesome. But you don't have to have a Triton boat to be in the tournament.
You can fish it out of any kind of boat that you can float in. We welcome them all.
All right. So
Pond prowler.
We'll take them. We've had some unique ones. I did want to mention the other division. You said something about that.
Yeah, I like that because that gives guys like me a chance.
Well,
that you do something that most people I've never heard of.
It's not the old man class. It's the
it's not your traditional silver division.
No, but it's really cool. It reminds me of some things that they do in the shooting and golf that you're doing for bass fishing, for bass tournament, that gives everybody maybe a chance to get a prize.
Yep, that's exactly how we came about it, is from the shooting sports and golf. That's where I came up with the idea. But we have the field of folks that have weighed in, and we take the top team in the bottom half of the field. So it would be the highest weight of the bottom half of the teams that weigh in becomes first place of the silver division. And typically that pays out $500 with $400 for second place, and then Strike King, another one of our platinum sponsors,
Doug with Strike King,
Doug and Mary Miner supported this 100% when I told them, and they said we want to be a part of that that second division, kind of the bottom half of the field, the average guys, you might say, and they put up a $300 prize package and a $150 prize package to pay out in that division as well.
Wow.
I really like that because people want to fish these tournaments and they're fun, but we all know, we've been around long enough to know that there are some folks on Kentucky Lake that could be fishing on the national level. They're so good. They're so great fishermen, and you might go out there. You can compete with them if you know the lake, but doing something like this really it will make people stay around, I think, more and see how everything turns out.
And I think it'll help tournament fishing in general when you can get more folks involved in it on whatever level. We give away, our sponsors have helped us with we give away more prizes and drawings after the tournament than a lot of tournaments combined. So we try to make it an event, not just a tournament, and something for every fisherman at every level, not just those that are on the water every day. There's some folks at work or can only fish on the weekend. So we try to make it something for everybody at this tournament.
Do you ever see a strategy, somebody trying to get that silver division win?
Well, we do. we have a rule with the polygraph because we don't want them culling fish as they hear other weights that come in. So
that's funny.
It's like driving back to the ramp.
That's kind of an evil thought.
Everybody's mind works differently. There's somebody that's always looking for an angle, and that's that is something we've considered.
500 is better than nothing.
That's exactly right.
I think that's a cool concept. It'd be neat if it kind of caught on in some other places too. So what's it like running First Stop? That's got to be something that owns you, running a store like that.
It is, but it's great. I mean, the relationship with our customers and they're so loyal, and we get what I call a lot of the country boys and country folks and girls that come there, and they'll drive and past other stores or out of their way to visit with us and shop with us. And I think it's because that's what we do. We're kind of known as the outdoor folks, the outdoor store, and we support that.
I know you're going to have good tackle. I know you're going to have rods and reels there and all that stuff, but what about the guy that wants to go catch the crappie and find the minnow?
We sell toughies and shiners in all sizes, and we have night crawlers and red wigglers. We have frozen bait, so we have it all covered. If they want to go fishing in Humphreys County on Kentucky Lake or duck or buffalo, we've got them taken care of.
Great catfish part of the world too.
Oh yeah,
I mean the rivers too. The rivers have really good catfish in them, and our guys have done a lot of electro fishing in those things. And man, the catfish they find in that stuff among the bass and the rock bass and all that other stuff. But Kentucky Lake is a great catfish part of the world. Also. So anyway, I know everybody's got to be excited about the bass fishing. It's your 2018 tournament series. It's the First Stop series. And 4 tournaments altogether. You got to fish 2 of 3, you said, in order to get into the Malone's Marine, the last one.
The Classic.
The Classic.
The 2-day Classic. And it's $2,500 guaranteed first place at every tournament. And $5,000 guaranteed first place at the Classic.
Okay. Do you want to tell them what does it take to get involved with it?
Okay.
You need to sign up or?
So they can find out more. Anybody that wants to fish it can find out more information at fsoteambass.com.
Are we looking at that behind us?
We can, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's the website, and you can register online. From the website. You can register tournament by tournament, or you can pay for the entire season and register for them all from there. You don't have to fish every tournament. Maybe you just have an opportunity to fish one. That's fine. You have just as much chance as anyone else just in fishing one tournament. So each tournament is open, but it's a 100% payback. So every bit of entry money is paid back at that particular tournament. We don't hold any money out of the entry fees for anything. Everything is paid back, and we try to pay at least 20% of the field. So that first place team is going to get $2,500. And 20% of the field is either going to get cash and or prizes, and that includes that silver division. So a lot of ways to win. We really spread that money out throughout the field to try to get everybody a shot to take something home.
I know you want 2 people in a boat, but do you have some that fish individually?
Yep, we've got some that fish by themselves, or they might fish, one by themselves. Maybe their normal partner can't be there. They can have a substitute. That's within the rules, and the rules are explained on fsoteambass.com. It's pretty explanatory on there. And of course, my number's on the website as well. So they are always welcome to give me a call on my mobile phone, and I'll explain everything in detail.
5 bass limit?
5 bass limit. The weigh-ins, we try to do those up and make those an event. We have all our banners and PA systems and music, and we try to make it more than just a weigh-in on the tailgate of a truck or something like that. We try to make it like I said, make it an event. for people to come to. As the weather gets better, we typically have some pretty good spectators there at the marina that'll stand around and watch the weigh-ins.
If you want to see good fishers, seriously, they're going to be there.
Yep.
When you weigh in, do you see more largemouth or more smallmouth?
Definitely largemouth. Probably 8 to 2 or 80% largemouth, 90%. But this year in some tournaments that I've already fished in and just reports that I'm getting at the store, smallmouth are on their way back compared to the last few years. We've already had a lot of people catching smallmouth, which everybody loves to catch a good smallmouth.
What's your big fish you've seen in the last couple of years?
We've had a couple over 10. We haven't broke the 11 mark, but we've scared it in the last couple of years. So it's Kentucky Lake's got some giants on it, and this is the time of year. I expect some really big bass to be weighed in.
Gabe King's got that 15-pounder. Y'all might, if y'all break it, we'll talk about you some more.
We would love to. We'll be back talking to you if we can manage to pull that off.
That's a big fish, but anything that gets 10 pounds start getting those buggy eyes on them. There, you know you got
Look
something.
like they're going to fall out for sure. And the thing about this, we have a great group of fishermen. I mean, these guys, the majority of them have, that fished with us our first year, have been back for the second year, and then now they're already pre-registered for the third. So everybody welcomes everyone else. I know bass tournaments are intimidating, especially if you're new into it, or maybe you don't have a big 21-foot boat with a 250 on it or something like that. It doesn't matter at all. We're going to treat the individual there that's in an aluminum boat exactly the way we're going to treat the guy that's in a brand new Triton.
You learn a lot at these things. If you're not as good as some of them there, if you pay attention, you will learn so much.
That's exactly right. There's just a lot of knowledge and a lot of years experience standing around at these weigh-ins. And of course, fishermen are fishermen. You're going to have to filter through the truth and the lies. But
how big was it?
It's all in good sport, I think.
Yeah. All right. You may not always find exactly what they were using, but you might get an idea if you pay attention a little bit what they're doing. So anyway, what else about the tournament, David, or what else would you like to say about the store?
I would also like to throw an attaboy out there for our sponsors. The event would not happen if we didn't have the sponsors that we have. So I like to say that we've got the greatest group of fishermen around, especially on this south end of the lake, and we kid around, kind of challenging some folks from the north end of the lake up around Paris Landing to come down and fish with us guys a little bit because it's tougher down here. Our guys are really good down on this end of the lake, but the sponsors is what makes it, and we could not do it without those sponsors. And I wanted to take a quick second to run through a couple of those. Apex Bank, my good friend Marcus Vine and Eddie Tarpey, they've sponsored us every year, and they're a platinum sponsor and put up a lot of money for it. Adasil, Ronnie Harbison there in Waverly, that's a company that really doesn't have a lot to do with the outdoors other than Ronnie Harbison being a huge outdoorsman himself, and he wanted to support this event. Of course, Taylor with Sport Stribling and Webb Insurance, his brother and his dad both have supported us. Malone's Marine, we mentioned those guys earlier. Dacus Hardware is a local hardware store that has a couple locations there, one in Waverly and one in New Johnsonville, and we kind of say that's where the sportsmen's like to get their hardware, is at Dacus Hardware. And then, of course, Strike King and Lose. Those are national companies to be honest with you, do they gain a lot from the First Stop Outdoors Team Series? No, probably not. But they love outdoorsmen and they love events like this. So they're doing it, I think, on this level because they want to support our local outdoors.
I've seen that. And I've seen it loose, of course, but Strike King for years I've seen them support local shows, which I really appreciate seeing them do that.
They're, I say even at the weigh-ins when I go through the sponsors, because I appreciate all the sponsors so much, but Strike King is one of those companies, and now Lose, they've partnered up, but you almost don't even have to say anything about them. Everybody knows them and what they do for the outdoor industry, the fishing industry especially. So it just means a lot to me as a business owner and as a director of these tournaments to get that much support for an event like this. And it helps us all. It helps our county. It helps outdoorsmen. It helps the lake. It helps license sales. It helps everything when we participate in events like this.
By the way, speaking of license sales, it is that time of year. Don't forget your license. I know we're still just in March, so don't forget, get your license before you go fishing. Definitely get them before you go turkey hunting this weekend, and you sell them right there at the store.
We sell them right there at First Stop Outdoors.
Have you sold a few this year?
We've already sold a few.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
We run a lot of them through there.
We do that. All right, David. Well, I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else? Have we missed anything?
I want to hit something, Doug, if I can.
Sure.
Special thanks to Humphreys County and Visit Humphreys County and the tourism department there. if you haven't seen their channel on TWRA TV, do so.
Thank you for saying that. Scott would have got mad at us if we didn't say that.
You can register there too. I think you can get through to the First Stop Outdoors section, and then there's also a coupon there for 20% off each night at the Imperial Lodge. If you're a subscriber at TWRA TV, you can get that benefit.
Pro Shop. Don't forget that Pro Shop.
Yeah, be in the Pro Shop. So, and then Humphreys County's already put a lot of videos out there, and I've heard that there's going to be some of the tournament videos posted there as well. So you can follow up.
Yeah.
So anyway, just wanted to hit that before we get out.
Way to go, Humphreys County. I really like that you're touting the fishing and I'm sure the hunting industry over there too. It's a great place to hunt.
I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. Y'all come back. Y'all come and see us again, and we'll talk. We'll get into more some of the basics of fishing too over there.
Sounds
you might
good to me.
So I do have one other question about the lower end of the lake. What's the difference in it and the upper end?
We have it's more narrow, so up north the ledges and the underwater structure tends to be a little deeper there. So a friend of mine was talking yesterday morning, when the water falls, let's say 4 foot like it has recently, quickly, the edges of the lake are steeper, so those fish can kind of just move down with the waterfall. Where if they're in 4 foot of water on the south end of the lake, it might be dry when the water falls 4 foot. So they're going to have to move much further away from where they originally were when the water falls like that. And even in the summertime, they can get to that cooler water. There's just it's not any, I don't think it's any better. It's just different.
It's different, yeah.
And, we've had grass in the past, and that's something that we haven't had these last couple of years. We hope that makes its way back and that cycle comes back around. And typically when we have grass, we have more of it on the south end of the lake, say from the Danville area south. We typically have more grass, and everybody, it's love or hate, but most people love the grass because you can catch a few more fish that way, and ultimately it's probably, at least from the fish end of it, better for bass fishing and really crappie fishing in general. The bait have a little bit more places to hide, and you can kind of hone in on them. So not any better, not any worse, but just different. I would say.
Yeah, different.
Not as big a water, maybe.
All right, First Stop Outdoors and the First Stop Outdoors tournament series cranking up this weekend, David. I hope y'all have a really good turnout.
Thank you very much. FSOTeambass.com. That's where to find out.
That's it. And we'll mention it a time or two more before we get out of here. We're going to, here in a minute, David and Taylor will make their way out. You're welcome to stay, guys, but we're going to go to Buffalo Ridge. We tell you that Humphreys County is very special. We have a place there called Buffalo Ridge Refuge that a lot of kid hunts go on there, wounded warrior hunts go on there. David, you've been there.
I have.
And it's just it's another place in Humphreys County that you might have an opportunity to get involved in the outdoors yourself. So we're going to show you a video on that, and then we're going to bring Donald Hossey in from this agency, our agency, to talk about Buffalo Ridge and how maybe you can get down to Humphreys County and enjoy a day there, right?
Yep.
All right.
Stay tuned.
All right, David. We're going to go to that. Thanks, David. Thanks,
Thank
Taylor.
you.
Buffalo Ridge Refuge is operated by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. It's a unique outreach and education facility totaling over 1,800 acres, incorporating a variety of habitats, including a few miles of the Buffalo River. It's unlike any other agency-owned property, dedicated to creating opportunities to introduce people to the outdoors. For more than 18 years, while still privately owned by Tom and Wendy Beasley, thousands of young hunters, outdoor women, and wounded soldiers have been able to experience life-changing hunts, fulfilling the vision of its gracious owners. In 2016, due to a very generous donation from the Beasley family, along with wildlife restoration funds, the property was acquired by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency to continue and expand upon the original vision, to make improvements to the infrastructure, and greatly expand the refuge's outreach potential. Existing structures, which included a log home and a very large barn, have been updated. The barn now houses an office, a bunkhouse with lodging for 25, and a hunter education classroom that can accommodate well over 100 students. A commercial kitchen is also planned. Private individuals have donated a wide variety of building materials, and volunteers have given hundreds of hours to help finish this facility. Funding has also been used to help purchase equipment to help manage the property to its fullest potential. Biologists and foresters are working on a master plan to manage a variety of habitats with improved hunter success as one of the main goals. At this point, there are over 10 miles of roads, 40-plus ladder stands, and 3 wheelchair-accessible shooting houses, along with a tremendous deer herd. Through the agency's outreach efforts, we have helped participants harvest well over 100 deer in a single season. We offer young sportsman deer hunts for youth who have completed hunter education, but have never harvested a deer before. Through the Becoming an Outdoors Woman program, we offer a Beyond BOW muzzleloader workshop that has become so popular that we now give 2 weeks priority to first-time participants. We also offer a Wounded Soldiers Deer Hunt to give back to those individuals who have done so much for us by serving their country.
When we get together, we're just normal people having fun, and it just keeps us going.
The improvements have allowed for the expansion of hunter ed classes, Wounded Soldiers dove hunts, youth squirrel hunts, trapper training workshops, Wounded Soldiers bass tournaments.
I don't think there's anybody who wants to spend your time. I feel like we're changing some lives. We're pulling people back.
All right, there's the big one.
Fish, this is your final breakfast.
All right, let's go.
Not only, are we doing something for the soldiers, but we're bringing their wives and kids, and kids fishing rodeo, and a lot of them got trophies. They all got fishing rods.
Let's see you kisses.
But I can't say enough, it's an honor to be a part of something like this event.
Buffalo River cleanups, and more.
We bring the younger generation, get them outside, let them experience nature. Even pull over a shoal, pick up a little trash, and let the kids throw rocks in the water and find crawfish.
The second phase of Buffalo Ridge Refuge includes the construction of a variety of shooting ranges, a dedicated hunter education facility, and additional lodging.
I truly think there's no other property in the state that really compares. There's so many opportunities out there at Buffalo Ridge Refuge to get people involved in the outdoors and the outdoor experience. We're looking at utilizing new techniques in wildlife management, from forestry management to wetland management to upland habitat management. We're currently working hand in hand with the University of Tennessee and Tennessee Tech and UT Martin, talking about the latest science that's out there on a multitude of species and their habitats, and bringing that data and information to Buffalo Ridge and putting it on the ground, which in turn we hope will provide each hunter that comes to Buffalo Ridge the best opportunity to succeed, hook them on hunting and fishing, and maybe they'll get somebody else involved too.
I want to say thank you to everyone that has ever done an event like this or helped out an event like this, volunteered, or even the veterans that decide to say, you know what, that was amazing, I'd like to pay it forward. Because that's where I'm at. Someone did it for me and helped me out of probably one of the worst periods of my life. And if I can do that to just one more person, I think that I have a purpose.
All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for staying with us and not leaving us, but we've switched gears a little bit and and got Mr. Donald Hossey in here to talk about this beautiful piece of property.
We're still down in Humphreys County, though.
Yeah, we're still in Humphreys County today.
Donald Hossey, Outreach Coordinator Supreme, who does everything in the world.
I don't know about that. But anyway, I'm very blessed to have the job that I've got.
Yeah, you do a great job with it, Donald. You do a lot of stuff, and Buffalo Ridge is just another one. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to know first, who shot all that great aerial footage for you guys? I think that's awesome video.
Yeah. A friend of the agency, the drone footage was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really profiles shows you what all exists out there at Buffalo Ridge, and they did a stupendous job.
He did. Yeah. Awesome job. Buffalo Ridge Refuge. What is it, Donald? Where is it? What is it? We kind of saw that, but from your words.
And the agency's been lucky enough to acquire the property about a year and a half ago. We've been doing outreach on it for nearly 20 years, but now it's ours, which is phenomenal, thanks to a gracious donation from an individual. And
we saw Mr. Beasley.
Yeah, Mr. Beasley, and can't say enough about his generosity and what he's done. But we're just a little west of Tennessee, about an hour. We're over there right on the Tennessee River, close to it, one exit off on exit 143 on I-40 West. And it's got everything. It's got every few miles of the Buffalo River, got uplands, it's got bottomlands, and an abundance deer herd and turkeys, and just it's an outreach mecca. It really is.
Outreach, and we were calling it a fishing haven too, on top of everything else.
Yeah.
It's come a long way. I mean, I remember back when I first started with the agency. I mean, the barn and stuff's kind of evolved, and properties evolved, and you're doing a lot of habitat work out there, and it's just amazing where it's come from.
Yeah, it's exciting too, and especially how many years of blood and sweat, and that not only us, but especially the volunteers. It's unbelievable what they have brought to the plate, and they see the value and the vision, and how many thousands of lives we've actually affected through this one place, and the thousands, tens of thousands or more to come.
Right.
It's very unique, nothing like the agencies has, but.
Tell us what those lives are. What lives are you talking about?
Everything from women through the Outdoor Woman program to youth mentors, doing a lot of stuff for the kids and a lot of stuff for the not only wounded soldiers but also wounded first responders. Trying to show our appreciation for these police officers that have been injured in the line of duty. Also firefighters. And I can't say our public servants are a lot of times taken for granted, and to be able to do something for these men and women is the least that we can do.
All right. And so, what's next there? What you got coming up?
A lot.
Where do we begin?
Well, yeah, every month something different. But no, probably our next big deal. Of course, we're still working leaps and bounds on the infrastructure there, making it bigger and better, more education facilities. We just came off a huge trapper training workshop in which over 300 people got certified in trapper training. Our next event, we're going to be doing a hero hunt bass tournament. We got a great partner with Cuban Land and Marina. Like I said, Kentucky Lake, Tennessee River is just one exit down. So we're going to be taking a lot of wounded soldiers, men and women, and first responders on a bass tournament out there. We also do a kids rodeo, so we get all the first responders, kids involved, and bouncy houses and stuff like that. So that's a real fun one.
You're going to be in the bouncy house? I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see that too. I'm all for
tickets
it.
Now.
Yeah, I'm in. Where do people learn more about, Donald? Stuff that's going to happen down the road at Buffalo Ridge that they might be eligible to go to?
Yeah, and that's one thing too. They can go to our website and find information about Buffalo Ridge. We'll be having the Outdoor Woman muzzleloader hunt that'll be coming up through the Outdoor Woman program. Our youth deer hunt's really unique. We take kids that are hunter-ed certified but have never harvested a deer before. So you get 35 kids in deer camp the night before. We also, one thing we do is we run a bunch of trail cameras, and so we've got thousands of pictures of all these massive deer that are running out throughout the place. And we do a most wanted poster showing the top 10 biggest bucks. And
that's cool.
You get those kids, in deer camp and sitting by the campfire talking about which buck they want to get, and it's just a lot of neat stuff.
Get them fired up.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Did you throw that up behind us? I know I could feel you working on something.
I got
Jason.
the website up there. Yeah, just visit tnwildlife.org. That's our homepage, but all that information about those special hunts, special fishing tournaments and whatnot will be up there.
Yeah, and the trapper training, and we've also added youth squirrel hunts this year, and
that trapper training was successful to say the least, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're like I said, our volunteers, Tennessee Fur Horse Association, for them to take on the added duties to what they do, it's amazing. The education component.
Is that John Daniel?
Yeah, John Daniels.
Yeah.
They can't say enough about them, and Clarence, and their whole crew.
Clarence, yeah.
That do everything that they possibly can to educate the public. We had almost 100 kids there for that event. So they had door prizes for every kid came away with something out of the deal, and just a lot of good fellowship and camaraderie, and it was an awesome weekend. A little tiring, but awesome.
Yeah, a lot tiring,
Yeah.
Donald. You're being humble there. All right, well, a lot of great stuff coming up, and again, we've kind of been a Humphreys County show, and a lot of great stuff going on in Humphreys County, and I want to remind everybody that David Daniel will have his tournament this weekend. It's the FSO First Stop.
Yep.
Outdoor series, and then stop and see them at the store. You're going through Humphreys County before you go down to Buffalo Ridge, or before you go to Duck River or the Buffalo River or Kentucky Lake or the Tennessee River or whatever's over there. It's a lot of fun.
Oh God, yeah, that's that whole area. It's a mecca for wildlife and fisheries. It's got everything.
Smallmouth biting on the buffalo right now.
I would say so.
What do you mean
and that's
you
another
would
thing
say
too. We do Buffalo River cleanups.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With Buffalo River Resort. And,
You had a big cleanup last year.
Yeah, we had a couple hundred people come out, a couple of different events and pick up trash. And Buffalo River Resort was nice enough to comp all the canoes and provide a barbecue lunch. And can't say enough about, and it's that whole area. We're working with 4-H and NRCS and working with the local kids, and hopefully in the near future can start doing more in our range development. So, the kids in the Scholastic Clay Target program can take advantage of it, and it's only going to get better.
Only going to get better.
Exactly.
All right, only going to get better. All right, Donald, you going turkey hunting this weekend, or you got enough time?
We're taking 6 kids, so.
Are you?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. So hopefully the weather will cooperate. But yeah, they're starting to do their thing, get this cool weather out of here, and it's only going to get better.
I was telling Doug I heard one gobble this morning when I got in the car and headed out, so it's they're firing up.
Yeah, I'm ready for them.
All right, Donald. Anything else you want to add today?
No, I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to let the people know about what we got going on, and looking forward to doing bigger and better things.
Well, you have, Donald, and Freddie Couch and a lot of other people down there working with you have really, like you said, you've helped thousands of people enjoy the outdoors, and hopefully gotten thousands of them becoming outdoorsmen and women for the rest of their lives, which is what we need in Tennessee. And I appreciate all y'all work, all the work you do. And I guess we should mention real quick, speaking of somebody who does a lot with outdoors also, NASP is coming up, right?
Yes, NASP is actually next week. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, and I think they're anticipating about 2,000.
And that's Don Crawford, so
yeah,
who does a lot to get a lot of folks outside too.
Yeah, and it's an awesome program. It really is. That's
archery in the schools.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal event, and it's great to see the kids next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, big event out there, and it's in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, Miller Coliseum.
Miller Coliseum. So if you want to go see some kids shooting and get your kids involved in it at some point, it's another great way to get them participating in the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Get them off that cell phone for a little while, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let me see if I can hit all these before we close out.
Sure.
Thanks to visithumphreys.com.
Yep.
FSO Bass. Let me get it right.
Yep, you got it.
FSOBassTeam.com to register for that bass tournament. TWRA TV. Visit the Humphreys County channel there.
Pro Shop.
Watch this show on TWRA TV. Watch on YouTube. Watch on Facebook. Thanks for y'all out there watching live today. And then watch on Roku. So we're everywhere all the time. Follow our Facebook, follow our Twitter, follow our Instagram, and stay connected with TWRA because we're trying to help you.
You can find all that on our website.
So you just want to give them one, tnwildlife.org, and cover it there.
Yep. Thank you, Donald.
Yes.
For coming in here.
We'll
Thank
see
you,
y'all.
Scott.
See y'all next time on Tennessee WildCast.